Quick recap, in case you forgot. The whole world, sliced into 12 pieces like a clock face running top to bottom. They call it the 12 World. And inside each one of those slices lives a single chosen child, a kid with the power to command sacred spirits. The world knows them as the Great Children. But today, we are staying right here in the world of Primas, in a town called Great Pig. Somebody out there is hunting something with a capture net, and failing spectacularly. And that somebody is the most ambitious boy on the planet, Bucky. You would think a kid who plans to conquer the entire world could catch one tiny little monster. You would be wrong. The thing is literally chewing his net apart, bite by bite. That tiny monster is a chaos monster known as the Fairy. She likes to show up inside people's homes and cause chaos. She does not attack humans on purpose, but get her scared or worked up, and she panics and spits corrosive acid. The Monster Dex wraps it up with a friendly warning to everyone out there. Be careful. The monster freezes. It parks itself up on the ceiling and stops moving. Bucky sees his opening. He goes for the capture, and it fails miserably again. This is a deeply embarrassing moment for a boy this ambitious, and the embarrassment only gets worse when a girl's voice starts mocking him. "What in the world are you even doing, Bucky?" And that voice belongs to none other than Pink, the great child of Secundas. While Bucky was busting his back, Pink was kicking back and roasting him from the sidelines. Has she forgotten she is supposed to be Bucky's sidekick here? Pink keeps needling him. "It is humiliating," she says, "that he cannot catch one harmless chaos monster like the Fairy." Bucky fires back. If she is just sitting there doing nothing, maybe she should get up and start working too. Pink shrugs it off. The problems of Primas belong to the great child of Primas, not her. So Bucky throws it right back. What is she even doing in a country that is not hers? And what about the people of Secundas? Are they just left to fend for themselves? Pink says Secundas is a nice, quiet world, so there is no harm in her taking a little tour through the others. And the real reason she is hanging around Bucky? She is hoping to run into Speck. She finished that sentence with a little heart, so yeah. We already know exactly what she wants with Spat. Watching how useless and how silly Pink is being, Bucky strikes back the only way he can. He scoops up Burnby, Pink's own sacred spirit, into his net and starts complaining to the little pink ball about how badly her master is behaving. Pink does not appreciate the way her sacred spirit is being handled. And while these two great children are still searching for any kind of balance in their relationship, a brand new voice cuts in, complaining about Bucky's performance. It is the client, the one who called him here to catch the Fairy in the first place. A mother of 3 piglets, Mother Pig is fed up that the job still is not done. Bucky tries to calm her down. It is a tedious job, and he is doing it for free, but he promises he will sort it out soon. Mother Pig flat out hates this chaos monster. A monster lurking around her house is a massive risk to her kids the way she sees it. Bucky tries to reason with her. Sure, the Fairy is a chaos monster, but this particular type actually adores children and only attacks people who are a genuine threat to it. Mother Pig does not want to hear a word of it. She slams the door right in his face and tells him to hurry up and finish the job. Pink is a little put off by how rude Mother Pig was, but she gets it. She understands where the woman is coming from. And then she decides to test Bucky one more time. She asks him, why not just use Jabaku and end this whole problem in one shot? Bucky explains himself. As far as he is concerned, the Chaos Monster has not committed any crime. It has not attacked anyone, so he sees no reason to strike first. Pink smiles, satisfied. It looks like Bucky just answered exactly the way she was hoping he would. And just like that, Pink is in. She is helping Bucky with this case. The plan, capture the Fairy, toss her back into the forest, and settle the whole thing peacefully. Night falls, and our heroes are ready for another attempt. Actually, they are even more prepared than I was expecting. Looking again, I genuinely do not know what Jabaku is preparing for. Why on earth do you need lethal weapons to catch a fairy in a baby's room? Bucky asks, terrified of the answer. Jabaku wants blood. Pink wants silence. And Burnby just wants to pretend she has never met these lunatics in her life. Anyway, our questionable little band of heroes finally creeps into the children's bedroom. The infrared goggles were worth it. Now, Bucky can clearly see his target even in total darkness. And just as expected, there is the Fairy. gazing quietly at the sleeping children. But once again, Bucky hits a wall inside his own head. He still does not have it in him to do something cruel to a creature that is being this gentle with kids. So Bucky makes up some excuse to call off the whole midnight raid, much to Pink's surprise. He claims it is getting late, and they need a proper night's sleep to perform well tomorrow, and he heads back to the little camp they set up outside. Pink reads exactly what the boy is feeling, and she just nods along. So our heroes return to camp and start getting ready for bed. But Pink wants to talk just a little more before she sleeps. She asks Bucky what his motivation actually is for being a great child. Bucky thinks back on whatever it was that brought him all the way here, and he repeats that obsession of his, the one we know all too well. Bucky became a great child to rule the world, but the second he says it out loud, Pink starts snoring. Bucky is offended that he just bared his grand ambition to a woman snoring this loudly. Pink apologizes, says she just falls asleep crazy fast. But it would not be fair for only Bucky to spill his motivation, so he turns the question back on her. What made Pink become a great child? Her reason to become a great child as strong as the person she admires most? Spack. Yeah, this girl is genuinely head over heels for him. But Bucky is not impressed, and he asks, "That's it?" Which immediately puts Pink on edge. Stung by how indifferent he is to her dream, she asks him if he even knows how incredible Spack is. Pink lays it out. Spack was without question the strongest great child of his generation. So strong that he became the role model for every single child who came after him. Bucky still is not impressed by the story, and to be honest, he is very upfront about why. He respects Spake because he believed in the man's words, but he only crossed paths with the former great child of Primas by pure accident. They traded just a few words before going their separate ways. So to Bucky, Spack is basically a stranger. After getting to know our heroes a little better, the night passes, and a new day rises. Once again, they are lying in wait for the fairy, determined to finally catch the thing for good. Now, the fact that every single attempt has failed is entirely down to these two being bad at their jobs, but they are exhausted with this mission, and now they look genuinely set on getting it done. This time, they actually have a plan. Bucky catches the fairy in the net, and Pink quickly hits the monster with a sedative to knock it out. That way, they can move it out of the house without triggering any counterattack. Plan understood, the two move in for the showdown. And all that careful planning goes straight down the drain when Mother Pig suddenly appears and starts screaming the moment she sees the chaos monster. The fairy senses everyone in the room. The entire element of surprise, ruined by the client herself. But the worst is still to come. Mother Pig loses her patience with how long these great children are taking. She decides to handle it herself, grabbing a broom and going for a good old-fashioned beatdown. Bucky tries to step in. That move is exactly the kind of thing that triggers a counterattack, and Mother Pig could get hurt. But it is too late. She has already swung at the fairy, and the acid spit counterattack fires off, splashing across Mother Pig's clothes. Mother Pig panics from the hit, and Pink rushes over to help her. The mother is fine, but the monster used the distraction to slip out the window and bolt. Bucky does not like where this case is heading, and he launches into yet another chase. Even though that was just another act of self-defense, there is no arguing it now. A chaos monster committed a hostile act against a citizen. So Bucky has no choice. He draws Jibaku, and as a great child, it is his duty to put that monster down. That is the rule the great children live by, whether he likes it or not. But at that very moment, a sound of falling rock breaks out, and that sound quickly becomes a roar. An old mine sitting right behind the house has collapsed. The result, the entrance to that mine is now completely sealed off. They figure the cave-in was natural. The mine looked old and badly maintained. But then, Mother Pig comes running up behind them, screaming, frantic. She is in a panic. She cannot find one of her 3 children. While Bucky is still trying to piece together these new facts, he notices the fairy is right there nearby, and it looks like she is trying to dig the mine back open. Bit by bit, Bucky starts to understand what is going on. Pink runs a scan of the vital signs in the area with her watch, and she confirms what everyone was already dreading. There is a sign of life inside the mine. Someone got trapped when the place came down. Putting the pieces together, that someone is inside the mine, and that the fairy, who loves children, is desperately trying to dig the passage open, Bucky reaches the conclusion. The missing piglet is trapped in the mine. Bucky and Pink head for the mine entrance to come up with a rescue plan, but they cannot find any way in. Just a tiny crack, far too small for either of them to squeeze through. Even so, the crack is wide enough for the fairy, and she slips inside without a second of hesitation. The monster is fully ready to help the child in there, and inside, sure enough, is one of the children crying in terror. The fairy manages to find him, and she comforts the desperate little one. With a gentle, soothing touch, the child stops crying and calms down. Meanwhile, outside, Bucky is running out of options, and time is the enemy. The mine is unstable, and it could come down again at any second. Their only way out is to bet everything on Jibaku's power. Bucky's plan is, once again, reckless. He has worked out with Jibaku an exact throwing arc and a precise timing for the explosion. If the two of them can land that sacred blast on the perfect spot, they can blow the mine open. But if Jibaku misses, they could hurt the child, or worse. Even Jibaku is shaken by how dangerous this plan is. Bucky looks at his partner and says, "My calculations are perfect, but can you handle it?" Jibaku has not a single doubt in himself. Bucky feels the relief wash over him. He hurls his sacred spirit, shouting, "I'm leaving it all to you. Go for it, Jibaku!" All three of them pray that Jibaku can pull off this insane maneuver. The dice are cast. The rubble blocking the entrance blows apart with the explosion. The mine is open. But what about the child? The tension is unbearable. And out of the depths, here comes Jibaku with a little piglet. Jibaku is smiling. Yes, he nailed the maneuver perfectly, and the child is safe and sound. The two women rush in to scoop up the child, flooded with relief that the mission worked. Even Bucky, always so stoic and serious, cracks a smile at how this crisis ended. But the smile fades fast. He spots something on the ground, right near where the child was standing moments ago. Bucky confirms it. That body lying there is the fairy. She died, completely drained of energy. Looking at how corroded the stone around her is, the boy works out the truth. The exhausted monster burned through every last bit of her strength, spitting acid over and over, trying to save the child. Mother Pig notices the chaos monster went down too. Collateral damage, and she says she is satisfied. Now there is no threat circling her home. Bucky says he understands a mother's instinct to protect her children, but he makes one thing clear. The fairy played a crucial role in pulling off this rescue. Because she was down there comforting the baby, she kept the child from putting himself in even greater danger the moment the blast went off. So Bucky asks her to tell her son when he grows up that a chaos monster saved his life. That mission is over for our kids, and they have already set off toward their next adventure. Meanwhile, normal life has returned to Mother Pig's home, and she had quite the struggle putting the children to bed that night. Right now, those children sleep peacefully, without the slightest fear of the dangers of the world, because in the room next door sits a flower pot, battered and damaged, but one that will watch over those children forever and always. And while all of that unfolds, something stirs in the world of Trias. A young man is talking with someone he calls his master. This boy carries a staff, and tied to the tip of that staff is a guardian spirit. This boy says he wants to grow stronger, and to do it, he asks his master for permission to leave this place, because he believes the next step toward becoming stronger is to find the person who succeeded Spock.